Okay. Anyone else got any objections if I start? Yeah, get on with it. I have put start. Okay. Right, Martin. Um, thanks, Martin. Appreciate that. Your feedback. Are you going to try and record this, Martin? Excellent. Okay. Right. Let's get this show on the road, as they say. Remember how to do this.
Your line is now muted.
You didn't see any of that, did you? The light came up halfway through. Can everyone see that okay? Yep. Excellent. Right, okay. What we're going to talk about tonight is what I've done, by the way, I've left all your mics on unmute, so I've left it in discussion mode. So if you do want to ask questions, if you can save them to the end, that would be fantastic. It just it'll help us all a great deal. That. What can't you see, Astra? Can't see the PowerPoint?
No, all it keeps saying is loading.
Oh. Well, it'll come up in a minute, I'm sure. It's just there's a bit of a delay from my machine to your machine. I was testing it out before with a video and it was delayed from what I was looking at from my screen. That makes sense. Has it come through yet?
Oh.
Right, what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about lead generation and the road to building a team. Primarily because we've got such a fantastic opportunity. We've got two destinations to qualify for within the next 12 months or 15 months. But the one that's the closest to us is the autumn destination, and it finishes in period 9. So for anybody who's not yet at the gold level, which is tonight most of us, you qualify at gold, period 6, and you hold it for 7, 8, and 9, and you're going to the autumn destination. Simple as that. I'll go through that a little bit later on, but firstly, let's move on to the next slide. So, why do we build a team? What's the point in building a team? Well, you help people. That goes without saying. You help people to create that extra little bit of income for themselves. Some people want £50 a week. Some people see the opportunity as a whole right from the beginning and think, I want that. I want to go all the way to the top. That wasn't me, and probably that's not most people. But we do it to help people. We do it to create a residual income, which coincides with the first one. But again, not everyone joins for that. But if people understood what a residual income is, you know, the type of income that if you write a hit record and, for instance, Noddy Holder and his, the Christmas tune that gets played every single year. Now, every year he makes thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds because of that one record. There are other examples out there, J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter franchise. She was not getting paid a bean when she was writing those, but now she gets paid millions and billions. I'm sure she's a billionairess. But, she gives more money away than we probably all earn put together. So that's just incredible. That's what residual income is. Now, hello, Paul. We've only just started, by the way. This is only the first slide. Now, residual income, if people understood what residual income was, most people had run through walls, would break down walls to get it, because it's just something that will give you such a good quality of life. It'll give you so much time freedom, and that's primarily what residual income is. We do it to create the time leverage, which I just spoke about on the residual income. If you've got that time leverage, you've got an income coming through the door, whether you work or not, and it gives you that element of time, free time, and so on. Some people do it just to build a pension. Most of us, well, a lot of us on tonight won't get a government pension. So what we're going to do in our older, you know, in our mature years, I wouldn't have a clue, because I wouldn't have, if it wasn't for Clean Easy, I really wouldn't have a clue, or if it wasn't for network marketing, I wouldn't have a clue. Some of us do it just to go on company trips, and that wasn't my bag. That wasn't me at all. I'm not driven by the trips, although the Jamaica one does float my boat. Get it, Haley? Boat. But we went to New York because it was a natural progression of moving up the pay plan to go, you know, to go to gold. So we got to gold because we wanted the income, not because we want to get to gold. We wanted the income. We got to gold. We got to go on a trip. You know, that's why we went. And we narrowly missed out on the next one, and we didn't qualify for Dubai, but we didn't do enough. Simple as that. But were we driven by it? Not as much as New York, and New York only because of the money. And then some people join for the car program. Some people build a team for the car program. But again, it's not really my bag. My bag is the income. But primarily, to get the income, you've got to help people, and you've got to help as many people as you can, and you've got to do it with, you've got to be genuine about it, and you've got to be the utmost sincerity about it, because the more people you can help pay their bills, the better your bills will be. They'll just disappear. They'll just disappear. Moving on to the next slide. How do you build a team? Well, lead generation is key. Couple that with building relationships. Help people to understand what we do. Help people to join the business. Coach them, and help them earn and achieve, and then duplicate all of that. Help them duplicate what you've been doing. Show them how to lead generate. Show them how to build relationships, and so on and so on. That's how you build a team. Okay, going on to leads. I've seen this before, some of you will know, so bear with me, but for those who haven't, make some good notes. Now, if you want copies of this afterwards, I can find you copies. Just drop me an email and I'll send them over to you. This fish pond activity. I haven't drawn this, by the way, because it'd be worse. But you're trying to catch fish. You're trying to entice people. You're trying to find people who are looking for that extra income, or looking for a business opportunity, or looking, whatever they're looking for. Some people out there, there's thousands of people out there looking. There's thousands of people out there looking for something like this. They don't even know what they're looking for. They don't even know about Clean Easy. Never heard of it. When I joined, I'd never heard of Clean Easy. I wasn't necessarily looking to start a business, and I didn't know what I was looking for, but I was looking for something. I really was looking for something. When Martin first came over, I didn't know. You know, I liked the idea of it, but I wanted £50 a week. I didn't really want a business. I was scared of running my own business because my parents had run a business and they were always away from home, so I was a bit wary of it. But now I've seen it, or I saw it, you know, a few months after. But I'd seen it. I just thought, well, if I get this business up and running, I don't have to be there 24/7 like my parents were. So I could see the kids. So I've got the time freedom, the time leverage, and that's what really, really attracted me to it. The £50 a week was just second nature. We just put catalogues out, brought them back in, put them out and brought them back in, and that was that. And I handed them to friends and family, and we made the £50. I think we did 70 odd pound in a week in the first 3 weeks, 216. But all these are important, and all these lists, all these rods in this pond, they're not every single rod, they're just a selection. The more rods you've got in your pond, the better it is for you. So make a list. That's your warm market. That's every single person you know. Okay? And that list will grow daily. If you can't add to that list in your first 30 days, every single day, there's something wrong. And after that, I mean, now I've found 3 people this week from my warm market from way back. And I've been in touch with all 3 of them this week. I haven't pitched them a business yet, but they have started asking me about it. And that's just like, you know, building relationships. The relationship was there from way back. I've not seen them for, I don't know, 20 years or something. But 20 years, no, longer than that. Wow, 25 years I've not seen them. But the relationship was there, and I'm just rekindling it again, and I'm growing it again and developing it again. And they will be exposed to my business at some point during the next few months. 3-foot rule. 3-foot rule is great. Anybody you meet in the street, pass them a business card, talk about your business, or ask for a referral. Referrals are very important. Your customers. I've had several customers joined my business over the years. And full enough, we got a lead the other day from a lady who has done another network before. I'm not going to say which one, but she has done another network before. And I set up an appointment with her. She's got her own business. She's done recruitment, but she's got her own business. But it was only part-time business. She groomed dogs. And she was looking for something else to grow around it. So I'm going to meet her. There was possible two addresses to meet her at. Hers and her future mother-in-law. And her future mother-in-law just happened to be one of my customers. Now, that lead for that person could have gone somewhere else, but just so happened that I got it. Now, that customer was looking for an extra income, but I hadn't tapped into that. Now, do I speak to my customers every single time I drop an order off? No, because I just don't. I haven't got the time. But you need to speak to as many as you can. You do really need to speak to as many as you can. Newspaper ads. It's a good one. It's being phased out, but it still works. We used to have an advert pool with the Manchester Evening News Group, and it was all right. It was probably about a couple £100 a month, and it probably produced 20 leads a week, something like that. And we were all right. We got sign-ups from it. But the MEN group really put the costs up, and it went to like £600 a week. So we just took a couple of fingers at them, basically. Car signs. Car signs are really good, obviously, if you've got a car. They do attract people. You can't really gauge the leads. It's just an added lead, an added tool there in your box, really. Referrals, really the most important one. Same as when you're doing your catalogs. You know, if you're giving your catalogs to your friends and family, they will refer you and your catalog to their friends. So referrals are really important. Some people in the business, some big people in the business, built massive businesses very quickly just from asking for referrals. Hiya, I'm looking for somebody who wants to help us with our business. Or do you mind having a look at this information? I'd love your opinion on it. And you might even know someone who'd be interested in working with us because we're really busy at the moment. We could do with that. I do that with customers. Someone might say, how are you doing? So very busy. We're looking for people to help us. Just little bits and bobs like that. Always try and find a way to get your business into the conversation. Flyers, they work. Grace and I have done about 2,200 flyers this week between us. And we've probably picked about 6 or 7 leads up from them. So they work. I had one guy yesterday. I went out at lunchtime whilst I was at work, and I got lost, I must admit, even with Google Maps. But anyway, biggest day, I got lost. And within minutes, we got a message down our voice messaging system. They'd watched the DVD, the video on there. They'd looked at the proof of income. They'd been onto all the links on there. And then they sent us an email to say, come on, phone me, I'm really interested. And then sent us another email today. Grace spoke to them, and they'll probably join next week. So the flyers really work. Posters, anywhere you can see a notice board, really important. Get your message out there as much as you can. Shop cards, we do a lot of shop cards. They work, probably 1 in 10. Now most shops, or a lot of shops, will let you put a shop card in for free. So well worth exploring that avenue. DVDs, give them to customers, give them to friends. Always ask for them back, a bit like a library book. And ask for their opinion. That's really important. Get their opinion, because people like it when you ask for their opinion. And business cards. You can hand business cards out in the street. You can pop them on cars. I'll go through some others in a bit. But basically, you leave a paper trail wherever you go with your business cards, and that's really important. Okay. These are wanted slips. There's a type of wanted slip that Grace and I use in our catalogue. Now, we've got wanted slips on our day slips now on our spreadsheet if you go onto our website. So, you know, they're a lot smaller than that. But the reason Grace and I still use these is because we've always used them. And if we start changing our catalogue, customers will know and they will think it's somebody else because we've tried it before. So we always stick our catalogues out exactly the same. And that wanted slip has been exactly the same since 2008. So we just put a small day slip in the front of it. What we do with that is we fold it in half. You'll notice it's got my website on there, my liveeasy.co.uk on there, which takes me to my data capture site. And you'll notice it's got an 0161, a landline number. That's my Easy Reach. That's my voice messaging system. Okay, now I'll fold that in half so it just says wanted at the top. I'll put it in front of my order form and I'll put a date slip in front of it. And they really work. We do get leads from them. You can't quantify the leads because they just come in dribs and drabs, but they do work. And in fact, Martin's partner, Tony, she joined from Wanted Slip. So I know they work. Okay. Might be a bit blurred for you this. I have got a better copy which I could send out for you, but you get the idea. These are some of the shop cards you can use. Now these are just handwritten on a piece of card or a piece of paper, and we've always found that the handwritten ones work best. We've had them printed before, but do you know what? They just don't give the same results, or don't get the same results from them. The handwritten ones work the best. Now these are just some examples. So the top one says, just in case you can't see it, earn £300 to £600 per month part-time delivering and collecting catalogues. And there's a space under there for your voice messaging system or a mobile number if you want to text info and your name to this number. But what you don't want to be doing, you don't want to be putting your number on there and then you answering it. Because if you answer that phone and you're in Tesco's or something like that, you know what, that's no good. It's unprofessional. You need to be calling them back at your convenience, when you're ready, at your desk, not when they want you to speak, not when they want you to speak to them. And also, if you are using your own mobile, you need an outgoing message. If you haven't got an outgoing message and you just use a default message, it's not going to work. It's not professional. And there's some of you out there that have got a default message on your answer phone. Get professional, guys. If you're in the corporate world, your boss would make you have an answer phone message, wouldn't they? Definitely. Right, so there's another one there that says, would an extra £50 to £100 a week help? Put your Easy Reach message or your voicemail message on a website on the bottom there. And the others, very similar. The bottom two, or three of them, the top left and the bottom two, both all say catalogues. So you won't get as many leads from them, but they will be a little bit more qualified. And that's important. So it's up to you. Do you want masses of leads through your door, or through your phone or your email, or do you want more qualified leads that know it's catalogues at least? Up to you at the end of the day. Personally, I want to speak to as many people as possible, but we do a mix. We do a mix. And if we speak to as many people as possible, even though they don't know it's catalogues, when we speak to them, they may just connect with us and so on. Now, when I do a shop card like that, I'm going for an appointment because they're all local. The shop cards I do that are local, and obviously I try and get appointments with them straight away. So they don't know it's Clean Easy when I turn up. When we've arranged this appointment, they don't know it's Clean Easy. They might know it's catalogues, but they don't know it's Clean Easy. And at that point, that's when I'll tell them it's Clean Easy, when I'm at their house. If I'm sending shop cards to shops which are further afield, obviously when I get them on the phone, I'll want them to look at the DVD. That's my sole purpose, to try and get them in front of that video. So that's what I do there. Couple of examples of flyers. The one on the right we used to use, and you can see that there's no reference to catalogues. All right. Yeah, there's no reference to catalogues there. So that's a good one. We got a lot of leads from them, and I probably got the leads down to 1 in 70 actually. So every 70 delivered, I got a lead off them, and we got quite a lot of leads from them, and they were good. They were good for getting us leads. Where we used to get them from now doesn't print them anymore. They don't do them anymore. So what we've done is we've started using a different company called Barney's. I've got the details on that there. But the details are cleaneasyprinting.co.uk. Now you have to log on. If you go onto our pinned post on our Facebook group, it's on the pinned post there, and how to access our particular group there on Barney's. But the ones on the left come from Barney's, and they're £25 per 5,000. But if you order them in 10,000, they work out at £20 per 5,000, so £40 per 5,000 for 10,000. Not ideal when you start off and you're not making money, but the quicker you can get into it and investing in your business in this kind of thing, the quicker you're going to start making money. But we get quite a lot of leads from these. So as I said, this week we've delivered 2,200 between Grace and myself, and we've probably got 7 or 8 leads from that there. The 0161 number is our Easy Reach message. That's our Easy Reach number. That's the Easy Reach voice messaging system. The 0845 you can see on the right is basically the same number, but we bought an 0845 number for £5 just to cover it, so that that one can go anywhere basically. It looks a little bit more professional, but then we started going with the 0161 number because it's all local and people relate to the localness of it basically. Okay, a selection of handout cards. Top right, the major second income one, we were using, again, with that other company that doesn't print them anymore. Very good. We got quite a big response from them. We have started using these ones on the left, the earn £400, £600 per month part-time. The response is not as great, but at least they know it's catalogues. So you do get a more qualified lead, but not as great as the right. But you don't get over the catalogue hurdle. And the ones at the bottom, we got from Vistaprint. We just got like 300 or 250, whatever it is, for a couple of quid. And I give them out to people who I'm talking to about my business, or I want to leave a card to. So they may know it's clean, easy, or they may know I'm looking for people, but it's a more personal card. So I wouldn't go putting those on cars. I wouldn't go handing those out in the street or anything like that, because they're a bit too expensive for that, because they're a lot more expensive than the others. So just a selection of handout cards for us there. Hot Pockets. Now I did a little video on this and put it on the Facebook group, but these Hot Pockets, I've got 2 business cards stapled together at the bottom and at the sides. I stick 3 in the top, I stick some blue tack or double-sided tape on the back, and I stick them in bus stops, phone boxes, and basically anywhere like that. If I'm going in a lift in a multi-storey car park or anything like that, they're there. And I'm constantly leaving a paper trail everywhere I go. You'll probably see by the next slide. Anyone recognise that petrol pump? Anyway, Tesco, petrol pump, the card slot. Now, for those that you don't drive, sorry about that. You can't do that because you look a bit rum going through petrol stations doing that. But Morrison's have got pay at the pump machines, and Tesco have, and I'll stick them everywhere I go. Also, the cards, have you ever been down a supermarket aisle where the cereals are, or the beer, or anything like that has got a cardboard sleeve on it? The cards fit very, very nicely down the cardboard sleeve. So in a cereal box, you can slot the card down the sleeve. Now, I'm not saying pull all the cereal boxes off the shelf and stick one in every one, because that's just ridiculous. And you know what? You're going to get kicked out and you'll probably never go back in. But the odd one on one aisle, maybe a different aisle, the odd one here and there. So every time you go to a supermarket, just do a couple of cards. You've got to leave a paper trail everywhere you go. Everywhere you go, you've got to leave a paper trail. You've got to have this second nature. Your business needs to be part of you, not you be part of your business. And what I mean by that is, take your business everywhere you go. So you don't say, oh, well, I've got to work this today, I've got to do this today. Make it part of your everyday life. So if you're going to go to the newsagents in the car, for instance, instead of parking right outside it, park 100 yards down the road and put 3 or 4 cards on cars on the way to the newsagents, and then on the way back. Put a shop card in the shop, and then ask the person behind the counter, as well as putting a shop card, do you mind if I leave a dozen business cards on your counter? Most of the time they're going to say, I don't mind, go for it. Sometimes they will. So what? Next shop. But you know, I've even done that, and the shopkeeper has said to me, what's this? In fact, in 2012, we had a newsagent owner join us from a shop card that I placed in his window, and he charged me for it. Anyway, he charged me for it and then joined, so I wasn't so bad. But you'll get that. The more shops you visit, the more people you speak to, the more of a paper trail you leave, the more people will join your business, because the more leads you'll have. Car signs. Obviously, for those of, by the way, the one on the left where it says free to join, it's not free to join, and that was an old car. That was something they used to do, and it wasn't worth the paper it was printed on, and it was rubbish. So forget that if you've seen that. So if anyone spots that, you should have all spotted that. But car signs, a really good way to advertise your business. Now, if I was, excuse me, if I was doing a delivery in that car, we'd park at the house front on, so they'd know it was clean, easy, and people just recognise the car after a while. But if I'm going to an appointment, or if I'm going to go into a mate's house or anything like that, I'd always reverse on the drive, or reverse so that I'd leave the car so that they could see the back end of it. It's really, really important. Now, we haven't had our new car done because we got it in July and it's had 3 bumpers since then. So we just need to get the next bumper repaired and then we'll stick the stickers on. But it is really important to get your car sign on as quick as possible. Now, these, excuse me, we got from a guy, a Clean Easy distributor based in Macclesfield, and he did them for us, posted them to us, and I just stuck them on myself, but he actually fits them. But loads of places do this sort of thing, and the back of that car was 35 quid, and the Clean Easy sign on the front was 15 quid. But I didn't have the Clean Easy sign on the front for ages. So long as you got something on the car at the back or something like that's important. But you can even use magnets from Vistaprint. The door magnets work just as well. I don't know how much they are, but I did have them on the first car, and I think they're about £6 or £7 each at the time. I don't know how much they are now. Okay, has everybody studied the autumn destination criteria?
No.
This is where you interact. Don't all shout at once.
No.
No? Okay, excellent. We'll start from the beginning then. Anyone who's not gold needs to get to gold and hold it for 3 periods. So they've got to do it 4 times by period 9. Now, it starts in period 2. So your last period to hit gold is 6. So hit gold in period 6, hold it in period 7, hold it in period 8, and hold it in period 9, and you're on the autumn destination. Now that's sales plan progression, sales plan success. Now everybody who's not gold tonight can do that. It takes 90 days to build a gold business if you put all the principles from tonight into practice and you do them on a regular basis. And you also call your upline on a regular basis. I called Martin every single day for 3 years. And it did pay off, but he still accepts the calls, but not as many, I must admit. Sometimes he does let them go to voicemail now. But no, I did. I called him every day for 3 years. Whether I was doing Clean Easy or not, I just called him. Whatever. But now he calls me sometimes. Great. Right, so the other guys who are gold or senior, whatever, it's new business sales. Now for us, myself, Haley, Martin, Dave, Jane, it'll be harder because it's on new business sales, and I believe it's the top 10. But every distributor has to have a minimum of 1,000 bonus points new business sales. So basically, anyone who's not gold could retail themselves up to gold, hold it 4 periods, but still not go because they've not got 1,000 bonus points of new business sales. Does that make sense to everybody?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, if Yulia wanted to go, she has to sign somebody up who does 1,000 bonus points, which times by 1.2 is about 1,200 quid. Get to gold, hold it for 3 periods, and she's going. And Adrian has to do the same, basically. Right. Okay. Moving on. You do your personal retail and you track it. Okay, that has to be so second nature in your business. Whatever your personal retail is, whether it's £500 a period, whether it's £5,000 a period, it doesn't matter. But you've got to set your own personal retail to it and stick to it and commit to it. Your team will follow you. There's an old saying, if you want your team to bleed, you've got to hemorrhage. Now, I'm not keen on the saying myself, but I know what it means. Basically, whatever you do, your team will do a bit of. So you've got to make sure you are the leader in your team, you know. Go the way, show the way, and know the way, as they say. And then what you do is you make the rest up with team members and team sales, bulk sales, that's what we call it. You've got to track, not only have you got to track your own personal retail, you've got to track your team members' businesses as well. Track their businesses, track their retail, track their numbers, keep an eye on their goals. You should look at your GSA every single day. My alarm goes off on a Monday to Friday. Yeah, Monday to Friday. It goes off at 6:30. First thing I do is check my GSA. I'm still in bed. I've got, you know, when you've got double vision in the morning, you can't see properly. I think I've got 2 GSA sometimes. I have to close one eye to make sure it comes into focus. Very strange, but that's the first thing I do in the morning. Keep a track on your recruiting and your lead generation. Because if you don't, you're wasting your time. You're absolutely wasting your time. You wouldn't set out from your home in the morning to go somewhere and not know where you're going, would you? You know exactly where you're going. You track everything you do. Everything you do in your daily life, daily routine is targeted. You know, first thing you do, you get up, you have a shower, clean your teeth, whatever. You go downstairs, you put the kettle on. You never miss. You always put the kettle on, and you hit the button every single time. And you don't pour water over your hand. You get in the mug straight away. Everything you do is strategical. You track everything you do, and everything's a target. And you've got to make that part of your business as well. And you've got how many team members you need per period. So work out the end goal. So if you want to be gold in period 6, for instance, and you want to do £1,000 a period retail, you need 8 people to do £1,000, or you need 10 people to do £800, or whatever it is. You've got to know those numbers, and you've got to work it back. And the only way you'll do that, unless you're absolutely switched on with the numbers yourself, is by checking out with your credible upline, ringing them daily, because that's the only way you'll do it. And these guys, your uplines, are the ones that will keep you on the right track. They'll keep you on the straight and narrow and help you out every single step of the way, because they want you to go. If anyone wants to use me as a coach, no problem at all. I want you to go. I want you to go on this autumn destination more than me. I'm not bothered, but I want you guys to go. It'll be a lot harder for me than to get. It'd be easier for me to see 2, 3, 4 of you guys on there than me get on there. Simple as that. And I really want you to go. How close we've been working with Hayley for 3 months before she got to go was incredible. Every single day we probably speak about 2, 3 times, maybe some days. I can't think of a single day where we didn't speak, and it wasn't just messaging; it was on the phone. You know, there was times where things weren't going her way, so a quick phone call to me, and we readjusted. We readjusted the direction. Give her a bit of tidbits, and before you know it, she's back on track, and the following day it's happened. And it's the same with cataloguing, Astra. You know, today you've not done as well as you wanted to. Why? Because you had expectations. If you had 0 expectations, if you went out there and you think, right, I'm going to get no orders today, and you picked up 10 quid, you'd be well happy. But you didn't. You had higher expectations, and that was where your disappointment came in. But you know what? You've done well in other areas, so it doesn't really matter. But tomorrow's going to be a better day. Right, how do we track our activity? Has everyone seen these lead trackers before? No. Okay. Dave, do you use one? Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Right, well, can everyone see that? Is it blurred, or can you see it okay?
A little blurred.
A little blurred. Okay. I'll send them out. Right. To be honest, I think because it's so small, I'm not sure you will see it all anyway, even if it was enlarged. But I'll send one out to you. If anyone wants one, just drop me an email later. I've got if you don't know my email address, you can use any of them. But I've got another one which is nicksassanelli@gmail.com. You can use that if you want. You don't get an autoresponder bounce back, so it's easier for some people. What I do there is, excuse me, we project what we're going to do with all of our lead generation activities. So it says there, flyers 2,500. Now this wasn't last week. This was actually on my phone. This was actually period 7, week 3 last year. But we planned on doing 2,500 flyers, 150 online adverts, 40 shop cards, 200 wanteds. Obviously they go out with the catalogues. What's that bottom one there? Facebook leads, I think that is, or something. I can't see it myself. But the total is 2,930 pieces of activity we planned on doing that week. Actual, we didn't do it. We missed our target. Why did we miss our target? Because we did. Maybe life got in the way. Maybe we let it. Life gets in the way with everybody, but if you let it, then you will lose. Simple as that. But then the next column is leads expected. So you can have a look at how many leads you expect to get from that particular activity. So from the flyers, actual leads 12, or sorry, leads expected 12, actual leads 0. That was it. Oh look, we did no flyers that week. That's not good, is it? But those all on the left hand side, on the right hand side, sorry, those are the leads that we got that week. And the top 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 came from shop cards. It says SC next to them. And then there's some Facebook. There's some Gumtree on there. There's one car sign on there. There's about leads on there. So it wasn't bad for that week. And then at the top, we've put on there 135 calls, 3 no's, 3 appointments not seen, and 1 excuse me, and 1 seen. 3 appointments booked and 1 seen. Excuse me. Did we get a sign up that week? Yeah, we got 2. We got 2 sign ups that week. So not a bad week, that one, but we could have done better because we could have done flyers. But then we'll know the next week where we went wrong and how to put it right. And every period in the circles on the right hand side, there's 15 circles there. We obviously put us in the middle and we put all our active people in the circle. And when I say active, people who've done more than 250 points, that's £300. Always try and work in points. So we're looking to fill those 15 circles every period, because if we fill those 15 circles every period, we will actually get recognised by the company and go on stage at 10 active wide. If we fill those for 3 periods on the trot, we will go across the stage and be recognised from the company as 10 active wide, and you'd be well on the route to achieving your goal target at that point. Now, the good thing about that tracker is you can see that week whether you've done what you said you were going to do, and why not, or why, or if you have, fantastic. If you've exceeded it, brilliant. If you've exceeded it, your target is too small. But you can see what you've done. So that's really important, because the next week you can readjust. Okay. When you've got those activities there on that lead tracker, you can look at it and you can think, my God, how am I going to fit all that in? How does these guys do 2,500 flyers a week or whatever? Well, I've done, in the height of summer, I've actually done 5,000 flyers on my own without Grace in a week around a full-time job and around a family. And it can be done, but it is hard. The more you do, obviously the harder it is, and it takes you away from your phone calls. So you've got to get a balance. But what I do is fill a weekly tracker in like this. Oh, sorry, a weekly time planner like this. Now, this isn't this week, by the way. This is an old one. This week is downstairs. I just haven't taken the photograph of it. But if you're really, really careful with your time, it's amazing how many hours you waste. You don't realise how many hours people waste, how many hours you waste and fritter away. Even if you just sat down for 15 minutes in front of the TV or whatever it is. I mean, I don't put TV on at all, apart from a Saturday night. I'll watch Saturday night TV, but I'm not watching it. I'm half asleep. I'm dozing in the chair, drinking the glass of wine or whatever I'm doing after my meal, because I'm just chilling. That's my chill night, Saturday night. I don't do anything Saturday night. But the rest of the time, there's no TV there. Oh look, Saturday night TV time. But the rest of it, there's no TV. And when it says work, yes, I will work at work for a boss, but I'll also get away with what I can get away with. So I might make phone calls, or I might do some Facebook prospecting, and that's why I'm on Facebook quite a lot. But if I was in the field and working my Clean Easy business, when I'm normally at work, then I wouldn't have time for Facebook as much as I do. But you really, really got to know your time, and these are important. Now, we're accountable. Grace and I are accountable to one another with this. I used to be accountable to Martin, but now I'm accountable to Grace, and she's with me. So her time planner marries up with mine. and my time planner marries up with hers, and they've got to complement one another, otherwise we will never see one another. So we start off by both putting in the time we want to spend together, which you'll see isn't much, but that's just coincidence. But we both put in the time we want to spend together, and then we work around that. So Sunday afternoon, that's family time. That is just family time. Occasionally, it gets encroached on, but generally it's family time. And Saturday evening, that's Grace and our time, Grace and my time. So we put those bits and bobs in first, and then I put the work in. That's really important. Put what time I'm going to get up, what time I'm going to go to bed, and then we work from there. You'll notice the P there between 10 and 11, personal development and planning. So that's planning the next day and the personal development. Really, really important to me, that. I do read at least a book a month. The book I'm reading at the moment is called 3 Feet from Gold. It's a good book. I'm nearly halfway through it. But I'll read 10 pages of a good book, a good personal development book every single day. I will also watch some audio, some visual, sorry, on YouTube, maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And I'll also listen to something as well, maybe whilst I'm out and about doing the flyers or something, but I'll listen to something. And I will also listen to some motivational music. So something, when I say motivational music, it's something that just makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up on end. It's something that does it for you, something that makes, you know, that makes you want to do something a bit more and fires you up. That's what I mean by that. So if I'm out flying, I'll put that on or something. So really important, that. Okay. When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal? No. You don't, sorry. When obstacles arise, you change your direction to reach your goal. You do not change your decision to get there. So if you've got any problems like that, they're just problems. They're just life's little problems. So if you've got any out of stocks, they're out of stocks. You know what? Deal with it. It happens. If you've got somebody comes, joins your business and leaves, so what? That's what happens. And things happen. It's how you deal with it. It's how you set your sail, as Jim Rohn says. It's how you deal with it. So if how can we relate that to today? So there's a flood in your local area. You drive through it? No, you drive around it, don't you? It's simple as that. You know what the hazard is, so you adjust accordingly. When you're driving down the motorway, you don't keep your steering wheel in the same position. No, because you'll crash. You'll veer off to a barrier or you'll hit another car. You're constantly moving that steering wheel, constantly. And do you know what? The faster you go, the more you move that steering wheel. So the faster you build your business, the more you'll have to readjust. Okay? Call your upline every day. I've said that before. I'll probably say it again. Okay. Success is the reward for setbacks. How many no's do you want? How many no's are you willing to take every single day? Okay? Has anyone ever done any Weight Watchers or Slimming World or anything like that?
No, I didn't get this fat eating salad.
Well, anyway, with Weight Watchers and Slimming World, you track your results. And not only that, you're accountable to the rest of your group. You get on the scales every single day, but you get on the scales in front of a group every single week. So that's only like us saying, right, what we'll do is we'll set something up, we'll set a destination focus group up, let's say, and we'll meet once a week on here or something like that, and we'll have a look at each time planner. Or you do it in a house, in a sizzle. Maybe Haley was going to do one, I think she mentioned on Facebook, you know, and it's that kind of thing. So you go to the meeting with your tracking sheets and your time planners. That's all it is. We've done them before, where we've gone to another, we were part of another team, we were like honorary members of another team when we were a lot smaller, and they used to let us go to the meetings, and we used to take time planners and tracking sheets. And do you know what? If you didn't do what you said you were going to do, well, tough. You get left behind because everyone else is going to do it. Oh, by the way, call your upline every day. Okay, if you think something is impossible, you will make it impossible. What you think about, you bring about. And that's a fact. I went to ages ago. I went to the doctors. I thought I had shingles, and he said to me, he said, "If you think you've got shingles, you probably will have." And I just thought to myself, "Yeah, I know what you mean." I said, "No, no, you check me out." But he was right in what he was saying. You bring it on yourself. You do bring it on yourself. As it was, I didn't. But there you go. That's it, guys. I hope you got something out of that. Has anyone got any questions at all?
Your line is now unmuted. Your line is now unmuted.
Thanks, Nick. That was great.
All good. Is anyone going to the
Can't hear you, Nick. That's like something person in the brain.
Is anyone going to the autumn destination?
Silence.
We have some feedback or echoes. Right, what I'm going